I'm back. Hello and welcome back to Thomas Talk. Finally, I of course am your host Josh, and welcome to Season 3. We've got a brand new set, a brand new format, but sadly it's still the same old host. But we will have some new faces joining us along the way. So let's talk a little bit about this new format that, for the few people that read my tweets, I've been talking a little bit about. We're going to start off the show with going to a different set to have a little segment, then we'll come back to this set to have the news, and then we'll go to another set to have another segment. The segments will kind of change throughout the episodes, but it'll really just circulate a few of the same with some new ones coming in every now and then. So, to start us off, a few days ago, the Journey Beyond Sodor trailer was released to commemorate Thomas's 72nd anniversary, which was May 12th, and I think it's fair to say that there was some controversy that was sparked because of this. So, to discuss this, let's take a sidetrack. I think it might be fair to say that the Journey Beyond Sodor trailer has made fans who really had no opinion about this movie before watching it have a very strong opinion about this movie in just 1 minute's time. Now, of course, there is a lot of controversy that has been sparked up because of this trailer, and now it's time to really discuss why it's all there. Upon the first viewing of this trailer, it can be a little easy to tell that there has been a slight production value decrease in the production of the Thomas & Friends franchise. This, of course, can kind of be attributed to the change in studio from Arc Productions to Jamfield Toronto, but at the same time it wasn't really a change in studio. They're in the same building with basically the same people working there. It's just a change in management, but at the same time you can tell that there is a difference between the animation that we were getting in Season 20 and in The Great Race and the animation that we're seeing in this trailer. So the question becomes, what has changed? Really, the basic answer is it's the detailing in the scenery and a bit of the lighting as well. As you can see in these pictures, there is just flat texture ballast and grass on these brand new sets. The physical grass is very limited. Now, some shots do actually look really, really good, and that's because they do have physical grass in them and the right lighting. But some shots look a little off to me. This bridge shot looks very off to me, mainly because, again, of the flat texture ballast and grass, and I think that there's some shading missing as well. Now, for people who don't necessarily understand the full extent of CG animation, here's just a brief explanation. The rendering process is the actual generation of the image, and there are lots of different layers when it comes to rendering. So in previous sets that we've seen, because we see on all the old sets that they still actually have physical ballast and physical grass, but it takes a lot of time to actually render all those individual rocks, all the vertices and all that kind of stuff, all the faces, and there's a lot of them. So when you remove the ballast from the render, it's a lot quicker of a render when it's just got a texture to put out. That this has been done before. Nitrogen did it a lot. They had flat texture grass. Arc has done it too before, more in the early days with flat texture ballast. My assumption is that it's there to save time in rendering, because the time that it takes to render, again, each individual rock or each individual strand of grass is a lot greater than the time it takes to just render an image. And you have to also keep in mind here that they lost a month of production in this changeover. So they probably had to save a lot of time in making of this production. So that is my guess of an explanation that would make sense for this. We have noticed in past specials that footage in the trailer has differed from footage in the actual film. That's just so that they could meet a deadline. So maybe that could be the case here. But this is quite a bit to add in. It could be that they just hid some render layers to make the render go faster, or it could be that those render layers don't even exist and we could just get what we see in the trailer, because that's a lot to add in afterwards. So it's gonna kind of be a time will tell game. But if not, I think, with their circumstances, they've actually done a pretty good job. And those little lighting, shading pieces and the texture pieces aside, the animation is still just as good. And I think that is something that we can kind of put aside for this special and we'll get used to. Now, the next big point of controversy is how the engines can now suddenly move like the trains in Chuggington do. At first, it kind of seems to be that the new engines alone move, but you can see actually, if you pay close attention, that Thomas can move by himself in some parts of the trailer. Some people are really, really complaining about this, saying that it is terrible, how they're going to boycott the show for it, and other fans are saying that those people are being ridiculous. I think it's okay to have an opinion of your own. This is a big change for a show to make 21 seasons in. This is a huge thing. And I think that if you're uncomfortable with it, that is entirely okay. If you're comfortable with it, that's fine too. But don't call other people out for wanting to boycott the show. Again, this is a big change, and it's something that's going to take a lot of getting used to, more so for some fans than others. For me, it's going to take quite a bit of getting used to. I mean, we've only seen a minute of this and a behind-the-scenes video. But I'm sure that when the actual movie comes out, it'll be something that we just kind of adjust to within the first 20, 30 minutes of the film. But for now, whatever your opinion is on it, that's okay. I mean, again, this is a big change. You take your time to adjust to it. If you don't adjust to it, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our opinions. Part of me wonders, what was the motivation behind wanting to make that change? Was it to engage the audience more? Or maybe is this just a one-off thing in the special? Who knows? The last issue is of Lexi, who the same article confirmed to be a gender-fluid engine. Many people are applauding this decision. Most people are saying it's a terrible decision, that it's a children's show and all this. I personally am completely comfortable with there being a gender fluid engine in the show. Some people have said that, why would you take a modern day thing and put it into an old timey thing, time period thing? And my response to that is that this is not a new issue. It is just we are more aware of it now than we were then. I don't think it's going to be shoved in our faces. But I think it's okay. I am entirely okay with it. And again, if you're not okay with it, then it might take some getting used to. It might not. But I think it is a good thing that they're doing it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it is okay. And whatever you think, I do believe that Journey Beyond Sodor will be a storyline-wise strong special, and I really look forward to watching it this fall. And for those who are saying that Lexi is the first gender-fluid engine in the series, Scarlowy Railway 01 on Twitter reminds us that Rusty was actually the first gender-fluid engine, for Michael Brandon misgendered him in an early narration of good old Season 7. Oops. Anyways, enough about that. Now it's time for the news. Well, we've been gone for quite some time and a lot of news has come out. I guess some of the biggest news is actually about Rosie. Her Bachmann model, the image of it was released. However, her actual model's not been released yet. They've only just released Oliver, so it'll be a little time before we see Rosie on shelves. But just as they released this image, they changed Rosie's color in the show. They changed her entire paint scheme, actually. No longer is she pink, she's a bit more of a purple now. She's got NWR lettering and a number. We kind of got a glimpse of this in a Season 21 promo shot for PBS, but there was also this toy for the new My First Thomas & Friends line, which shows us a little bit about this new paint job. In other news about Rosie, she will be getting a new voice actor for both dubs of this show. Jules Dejean and Teresa Gallagher are no longer voicing the character. Her last speaking role was in season 16, and now she will gain a new voice actor for season 21. So lots of change happening for Rosie. Many are speculating that she's joining the Steam team. I think we'll have to wait and see. So pretty much the rest of the news goes around Journey Beyond Sodor, and I'm sure that lots of you are familiar with this news already. The trailer, of course, came out, but lots of characters have also been announced. Lots of toys for the characters have been announced. We have Lexi, Theo, Merlin, Hurricane, and Frankie as the main 5 new characters in the special, and we've also got a crane named Beresford. And we've also know now that James is going to have a pivotal role in the special, and it's been a little while since James has been given some good screen time in a special, so I'm looking forward to see how they'll handle that. But you pretty much know about all this stuff now. It's old news, and that's partially my fault for being gone for so long. Nonetheless, the toys that are being created for the special actually look pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of them in person. And speaking of new toys, I picked up some new toys the other day. Now it's time for us to go to our final segment, which is the Unboxables. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unboxables, which is basically my excuse for buying a whole bunch of silly little toys and hopelessly telling my parents that I'll make my money back off of YouTube AdSense. Today, we're looking at some little odd things that I found at Walmart. They're called Mash-Ems, according to these boxes. Well, they're not really boxes, they're more like little cases. And inside, it's supposed to be a little mashable, or super squishy is what they say, Thomas engine. Well, you have the option of Gordon, Percy, Thomas, James, Toby, or Sir Topham Hatt the Fat Controller. I tried to get Thomas, Percy, and Sir Topham Hatt the Fat Controller, but I don't know. It is a mystery. It's like minis but squishy, is what I assume. Now this does look like it should be opened without scissors. There's like a little thing here. Yes, I'm doing it. There you go. So yeah, you just kind of peel that away. Oh, I hate ruining the artwork, but you know what? Oh well. Oh, who do we got? Well, I did get who I wanted. I wanted Sir Topham Hatt the Fat Controller. Here he is. Jeez, this feels weird. It's like there's a bubble of air inside and it just like squishes around. Oh, it's all sticky too. It's like, wow, okay. What does this say? It's just a warning sticker so you don't sue them if your child eats one and dies. So these are quite interesting because they retail at a price of $4.95. This, come on, easy to open. Should be. Toby looks the coolest. I should have tried to get a Toby. It's not coming undone. Oh, this is dangerous. Jeez. This is ridiculous. I've been doing this for so long, this camera died. There we go, I got something. Can't show you because it took me too long to get this undone. I did get Percy. Like, it's weird. Oh, that's an odd thing. His eyes just burst out like, oh. It looks like there's like some sort of, there's like fluid in there. There's no detailing on him. Like, it's really odd. Okay, fine. There's Percy. That's fallen off. Okay, oh, here we go again. There we go. That one was easier. Who did I get here? There we go. Well, I did meet my goals. I got Thomas too. These are so odd. Thomas has 2 wheels. Okay. He's got no detailing whatsoever except for a little number 1 on the side. Same thing. Like, it's alien face. Okay. Like, look at this. Oh, that's like, there's fluid inside. But why? It's like, it's actually kind of like terrifying. And here's Percy. same thing. Like, it's kind of spooky if you ask me. Then, to top them hat, the fat controller too. Oh, man. It's like, for $5 each. Yeah, that's what I'm smelling. It smells like, model glue. It's, jeez. Okay, I don't know what you do with these other than collect them and squish them to get alien faces. They're already getting dirty because of how sticky they are. Like, if I bounce them, like, oh, apparently, you bounce them together, they like to stick together too. Jeez, this is like next level generation. Can you roll them like into a ball or something and like, oh, you can. Okay, well, this has been the Unboxables, that's what we're calling this, on Mash-Ems Thomas. Definitely worth a laugh if you wanna do that. Again, I have no idea what you do with these. They're sticky. They're not nice to hold. They're not detailed. They're like, I don't know. Why is this a thing? Like, why? They had Paw Patrol ones there too. Like, why is this a thing? What? Remember the days when we had this? Those days are gone. We have this. That was Thomas and Friends Mashables. We'll see you next time on the Unboxables. So that basically wraps up this episode of Thomas Talk, which is the first of Season 3 and of this new format. Have some comments, some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Please post them in the comments below. I appreciate what everyone has to say. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and until then, we'll see you all next time.